Marvel has got to be one of the best franchises out there. Because, they've got MCU, X-Men, Spider-Man, other garbage. I'm fine. But anyway, we always focus on the MCU pretty much on this channel. So I figured I would rank all the origin and first movie MCU movies. This list will include all of these heroes' first films: Iron Man's first film, Hulk's first film, Thor, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Spider-Man. Yeah, we're not going to include any of the Avengers or Guardians of the Galaxy because both are teams. And these are individual heroes. So let's get started. Coming in at number 9 is The Incredible Hulk. This film is purely, I guess you could say, cliche, because as a Marvel film, as an MCU film, this is probably one of the worst, only because, it's kind of, boring a little bit. I don't really know how to say it, but if this wasn't a Marvel film, this would probably be one of the best movies I would ever see, because Edward Norton is a good Hulk, and, with the whole story of him going on the run, it's kind of entertaining, and the whole tracking him down, and one of the main problems is definitely Mr. Green Mr. Blue in this film. He's just this weird guy, and Abomination, he's not a bad villain, but he's just not the best. So I want to love Incredible Hulk more than Thor: The Dark World, but because everyone hates Thor: The Dark World, but you know what? Honestly, at this point, I can see Incredible Hulk being one of the worst MCU films. Coming in at number 8 is Thor. Everyone thought this was going to be an amazing film. We get to go to Asgard. We get to see Thor, all Odin, all the people from the comics, and we got there, and it did not feel like. The first 20 minutes of it, it was golden. We were all like, this is gonna be a great film. But when Thor gets sent to Earth, and he spends so much time on Earth, and he's adapting to this human form, it really doesn't feel like a Thor movie anymore. It just feels like a dream he all had. And Loki's one of the best villains. His manipulation against Thor, it's amazing. If Thanos wasn't in the MCU, Loki would probably be the best villain there. So yeah, I'm excited to see where Thor 4 will go with Jane lifting Mjolnir. I guess she might have to go get it from Cap. I don't know what Cap did with Mjolnir. Maybe we'll find out in Thor: The Dark World. Thor: Love and Thunder. Why would I say that? Coming in at number 7 is Captain Marvel. Okay, so a lot of you guys don't like this movie. It's on percent it's the worst MCU movie. It's only about 74 or something. I'm not really sure. Liking this film, I went into this. My first day going to see it. I was like, okay, I gotta figure out why does no one like this film. I went in and I was left because I thought it was good. I thought it was amazing. And as me and my friend were walking out of the theater, and we were talking about how Rotten Tomatoes, I don't get it. And then this other guy comes up and Rotten Tomatoes off. Yeah, and it is, because it just needs to do a lot better with percent of movies. But anyway, Captain Marvel. The origin is amazing. I wish that Carol would I wouldn't say ruthlessly kill the people who betrayed her, but that would have been cool. And to kill the Supreme Intelligence, I think that would have been a good fit. The only villain they think they kill was the one that I don't know, it's kind of like Gamora's half sister, I guess you could say. That's what it looks like. So yeah, pretty much. Coming in at number 6 is Doctor Strange. Okay, so this is the first film that gave us this mystical warlock. Ooh. But Doctor Strange, when I first saw this film, I thought it was okay, and I watched it again. I really liked it. I gotta go watch this for the Marvel plan. That video's coming in a few months. I guess it was hard to place which movie was better, Captain Marvel and Doctor Strange, but I think Doctor Strange is a little better because the time repeating with Dormammu. That's a good it's okay, but I just feel like the reason this is not more high up on the list is because the way they handle the final battle with like when Wong's army, you don't really need to do anything with them because and the guy who betrayed the Ancient One, he doesn't even die. He just gets taken to Dormammu and like dies, I guess you could say. So yeah, this film isn't perfect, but it's still a good film. Coming in at number 5 is Captain America: The First Avenger. Okay, so I get the same reaction as anyone watching this film, where you can't decide if it's like the best film or if it's medium because you start out you're liking it, but then whenever he becomes the hero like that everyone loves, it's kind of like it kind of slows down a little bit, and then when he goes to fight Red Skull, and save Bucky, that's when it really picks up again. Now, I think that Captain America: The First Avenger should be the first film in the MCU watch because if you're doing chronological time, of course. And this movie does really, it makes sense on how this could have started the MCU and not Iron Man because it started Agent Carter, and other things I don't really know. But it's definitely a good film to watch over and over again. As long as you try to kick that is it bad, is it good or medium in your discussions. Coming in at number 4 is Ant-Man. So I actually this was the first movie I watched to do the Marvel plan, and from okay, I guess I could say that this movie was amazing, but whenever they were actually going to go stop Yellow Jacket, that's what I gotta call him. I don't care. Whenever they went to go break into the the warehouse, that's when not the Avengers warehouse. No. That was when it was still really good. But this movie, I think it just had some boring points at some parts of the movie. But I would give this movie a good score, 9 out of 10, because at just some parts I was just thinking why does this movie feel a little boring a little bit? But it's still a really funny movie, and anyone who watches this movie will be laughing. Coming in at number 3 is Black Panther. This is the first MCU movie I think to hit $1 billion. I'm pretty sure that's not true actually, but the graphics are amazing. Chadwick Boseman, the whole entire cast. It's just an amazing film. This movie is worthy of the Oscar it got. Michael B. Jordan is probably the best person you could have gotten to play Killmonger, and really the only thing I could think that's wrong with the movie is kind of the guy from Age of Ultron, where Ultron snaps off his arm. I mean, maybe he's the only problem in this movie. I'm not really sure. I gotta go watch this for the Marvel plan. But yeah, this movie is still really enjoyable, and it's definitely one of those movies where it kind of set up Infinity War for Winter Soldier, but honestly, it feels like something you would watch after Civil War. Coming in at number 2 is Spider-Man: Homecoming. Now, this movie probably did as well as it did because of Robert Downey Jr. in it, but that's not true at all. It did well because of him and Tom Holland, and the way that Tom Holland can portray Spider-Man. Hashtag bring Spider-Man back to the MCU. Disney, you want to pay $10 billion to Sony to get those rights? Jesus, I don't even know where they get that money. They got to take out from Tron building in Disney. My God. But we need to get Spider-Man back in the MCU. But this movie is definitely a 5 out of 5. Best Spider-Man probably film yet. I don't know. It's either this film or Spider-Man 2 from 2004 or Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Haven't seen Spider-Verse yet. I gotta watch that one, and I haven't seen the original Spider-Man from 2002, but I definitely think that this movie, proved to be, they don't have to make an origin story from Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. They can just make a Spider-Man film the way it should be. Before I give you my number 1, guys, I want to show you guys where I am in the Marvel plan, because maybe some of you guys are wondering how many movies I've seen, and yeah. So let me tell you guys all the films I've seen so far. Okay, I've seen X-Men from 2000, X2 from 2003, Fantastic Four from 2005, X-Men Origins Wolverine, The Amazing Spider-Man, Thor: The Dark World, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Ant-Man, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame. I'm working on watching 3 films actually right now. I'm watching Punisher Warzone. Well, that one I'm watching PG-13 because it's an R-rated, but I found a PG-13 version of it. I'm watching X-Men Apocalypse and Daredevil. Okay, the worst one I've seen so far from all the ones I just listed is probably X-Men Origins Wolverine. I gave that a 7 out of 10. And honestly, it's kind of like the same for Incredible Hulk because as a Marvel film, it kind of fails. But let's get into number 1. Obviously, you guys probably guessed it. Oh my god, I just accidentally got it. Number 1 is Iron Man. Now, this movie truly started the whole MCU. If Robert Downey Jr. hadn't played the part right, if they hadn't, I don't know. Anyway, the whole MCU rooted for Iron Man, and because of that, we got 23 films in the MCU, and more coming soon. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. We are on our way to 70 subscribers, and I'm really hoping we get there soon. Maybe 100. I don't know. Alright guys, I will see you in the next video. See ya!